Hello everybody, we are going to be playing some Legacy today, alright, so we're going to be doing some Esper Vial, and it's been a minute since I played this deck on stream. This is probably one of my, if not my favorite out of the competitive decks in the current Legacy format. I guess Snowko is also pretty sweet, so, and Snowko has treated me pretty well, so I guess maybe Snowko. But yeah, this deck I was very excited about because of the printing of this card, right? Like, I think I did only one stream playing the Skyclave Apparition, and yeah, it was about time that we do another one. This card obviously very powerful. Of course, combining with Charming Prince, with Flicker Wisp, with Soul Herder, with Fairy Time Raveler, with Venser. Like, it basically combos with the entire deck. So, not too much of a surprise that this is an auto include in this strategy. This is very similar to a list that top 8'd the Eternal Weekend event this past Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday. So the only changes that I made is that this list had a couple of Sevin's Reclamation. It had a Sevin Reclamation and a Second Unearth in the sideboard, and I played 2 Gilded Drakes instead. I do like the Drake a fair amount, so I'm going to go with that one instead. But everything else is the exact same list, and honestly, it's a little bit close to what might be considered the stock list. Even though there's not so much of a stock list for this deck in particular, like cards move around a lot, 3 or 4 Swords of Plowshares, 1 or 2 or 0 to Fairies, like these are the cards that we see shaking in numbers, but most of the cards are pretty much set in stone, like the Vials, the Strixes, the Meddling Mages, Brainstorm Forces, all of these cards, and of course the 4 Recruiters and the one-offs are pretty much set in stone, but Baron. That actually worked out a lot better than I was expecting. But everything else is pretty much set in stone. So that is pretty much the stock list, I guess. But yeah, so the biggest issue about this deck is its mana. The mana base is a little bit on the shaky side, and usually it is the most. It is the axis in which when people attack you, you get hurt the most, basically. That's probably the way that I would put it. So I have experimented with playing more lands, I have experimented with playing more basics, I have experimented with playing less wastelands. It pretty much is it's a matter of trying to balance everything that you're trying to do, but we're gonna go with this for now. I think that we might want to figure out a way to like add a land or something, but we're gonna cross this bridge when we get there. But for now, we're just gonna fire it up with the current list. We're gonna take it out for a spin. We should play Omniscience to combo with Veneer and Teferi. Yeah. What Leviathan said. Sure. Hey, Melsa Joy, how's it going? Oh, Mel, that's you. Oh, what's up, Mel? That's my friend Mel. She wrote some of the songs that I sometimes play at the beginning of the stream. All right, let's see what we playing against. Bob Buttons. Turn 1 Vial. Let's go. Hype for tomorrow. Hell yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing thank you for bringing that up, House. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the we're super dead. This hand cannot beat Reanimator. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing a live episode of the Titan Dog cast. Thank you, House, for sharing there, and it's gonna be awesome. Probably gonna take our Vial, I would say. It's actually the thing that Omnitel decks do when they get Omni into play with the Fairy. They just bounce Gender into Fairy and draw their whole deck. Okay. So I think we probably just concede here. Even if we top dig exactly Caracas, we're still in a lot of trouble, so we're just gonna get to draw 14. Alright, so Gilded Drake, Forces, Plow, Canonist, Cleric, Rest in Peace. Those are the good ones. Now on to the bad ones. Plague Engineer. This guy. Maybe Peacekeeper is bad, actually. I could see Peacekeeper being actually bad. Like, we're probably going to opt for one of all the other options that we have instead of Peacekeeper. Yeah, Teferi, not great. They usually have Tendrils. No, I think my opponent's just on Black Reanimator. I don't think they are on Tin Fins. If they were on Tin Fins, then yes, they would be. They would have that. Do I even want Meddling Mage in this matchup? They just have so many different reanimation spells. I think I kind of don't want Meddling Mage, actually. Flicker Wisp, since bad. We definitely have to watch out for the blue cards for Force, though. I think we're fine for now. Yeah, this is an okay number. Like, it's not insane, but it's just fine. We maybe could shave a Wasteland. And what else? Palace Jailer? Sure. Sure. Let's do this. We don't care if they have a Chancellor, which is nice. We have a Brainstorm. Let's put a Glen in this file. Nah. Couldn't get past Peacekeeper game, probably would have made it so. Yeah, the problem with Peacekeeper is they're gonna be bringing in Elish Norn against me, right? So while Elish Norn is an option, Peacekeeper loses a lot of its stock. You know what I'm saying? Glen not durable from Recruiter. Which had from Massacre? Yeah, but we can actually, if we deem it necessary, we can play around Massacre. If my opponent thought ceases, I'm probably gonna Brainstorm in response. Or Duress, yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna play around Massacre. Let's just make sure that my mana is gonna function. Lol. Those are good. They're not gonna take the Rest in Peace here. Unless they have Surgical for whatever reason. Yeah. Oh. I guess nothing that we would have done actually mattered. Good to know. Awesome. Yeah, so nothing that we would have done would have mattered whatsoever. Because they had turn 1 discard into turn 1 Grisser Brand. Sure. We can still potentially win because we can untap. We can fetch the land away. We can Rest in Peace. And then we can bounce the Griserbrand with the Caracas or the Baron. Yeah. I think I'm actually playing the Vintage Eternal Weekend. Oh, nice. Oh. Just gonna Iona. Can they Iona this turn? Yes, they can. Okay, now we are actually dead. Nice. Opponent moves to 5 into killing us on turn 1 with a discard spell. That's legacy sometimes. That's legacy. That's what you're signing up for. Iron Name White, yeah. Which is the correct thing to name there, right? Because like the only Caracas is like the only thing that does anything there, right? Like if I had, but I know that I'm not top decking Caracas. Sure, we're gonna keep this. I know that I'm not top decking Caracas, so let's get a basic plains and play either Vial. Swords to Plowshares would have been the other thing that might have gotten me there. So just naming white really limits my possibilities. Okay. I'm gonna need some help here. Can waste that. I'm into that. Let's get these files up. Excuse me. Baleful Streak, something like that would be great. Palace Jailer actually is interesting. The only creatures that I have are the 2/4 drops, so these Vials are like super late. That's really funny. As long as this is not a Sylvan Library, which it totally is. No Sylvan Library. Okay. Yes. And yes. Oops. This is not looking good, chat. Not looking good at all. Also because this could be Omnitel. I guess if this is Omnitel, we're actually in a lot better spot if this is Snowko. So at least there's that. Missing land drops. Talk to me, opponent. Yes. And yes. I think I'm going to main phase this Palace Jailer here. Just so I can start drawing with... Yeah, sure. So now we start drawing with the Monarch. We got Venser, we got Recruiter to go fetch something. Actually, because of my opponent missing land drop there, that Wasteland there had been super important. Oops, I forgot to. So we're gonna say always no and always no and always yield. Another Recruiter. It's the Wisp. We could have gotten Soul Herder there, but like my opponent's missing land drops. Like I think that this is going in a great way here. I think on my second main phase, I'm going to Wisp the Recruiter. Oh, sweet, it just resolved. Awesome. Now we can get Soul Herder. Yeah, sure, let's just bait a counterspell here. Maybe they literally have nothing? Just gonna get Baron here. Because they might still be... What's his name? They might still be show and tell. If that's the case... Just gonna violin in the Mancer. And then I'm going to Baron my Venser. Just get myself some nice little time walk action. Let's see what opponent's doing over here. White Source. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. So I'm just gonna Recruiter for another one of these dudes. Sure. So just Recruiter for another one of these guys. Plow resolves. I love how Plowing triggers Soul Herder. That's probably like my favorite thing about Esper Vial. First things first. One, two, three. Soul Herder. They counter. It's fine. Play land, play fetch. Get Tundra, blue, black, Strix. We just have to make sure we play around removal on the Venser, so we're just going to do this right now. This also means we get to draw a card, which is nice. Trigger Baron, trigger. Still got lethal. I think we got him. Why do you think Primetime has made so little impact in this format? Is it just too slow? Yeah. That's exactly what I think. And by the way they tapped, they actually could not even Veil this. I guess that if Veil doesn't even stop Venser, so... okay, so... Source to Plowshares, out. Rest in Peace seems good. Apparition seems good. Wasteland seems pretty bad. Peacekeeper seems bad. I guess I do like Engineer because of the snakes. We are against, I think it's Snowko. Yeah, no, they have the sweeper, so yeah, it's Snowko. We weren't sure at first because they could have been the Omnitail deck. Because now the Omnitail decks are banned. For the fairy and the snakes, but it was actually Snowko because they showed us a sweeper. Yeah, Omnitail now splashes for the fairy, they splash for Oko, and they splash for the other guy, Ice Fang. Do I want both Rest in Peace? I feel like I only want the one. Canonist is sometimes interesting against this kind of deck. I don't think that's what I'm interested in though. That makes sense. Yeah, of course it makes sense. Why would they not splash for 2 of the most broken cards in the format? Sure, turn 1 Vial, let's go. It might get counter though. Wouldn't surprise me if they had the 4 for the force for this one. Although maybe they sided out some forces. That means that our brainstorm is going to be able to shuffle, which is nice. There's the library. It's gonna be tough to beat that one. It's very early. I think I'm gonna name Oko. Just gonna name Oko Thief of Crowns. I might be interested in blowing this up. Depends on what happens this turn. But Oko is probably their main answer to my Vial. Maybe they have Wilt. Maybe they have Abrupt Decay. They didn't draw cards with Library. What are you doing, opponent? Just draw cards. So I would love to draw like a Charming Prince, something like that. What is this? Blue-white? Meddling Mage. Sure, whatever. I don't know why they would have Meddling Mage in their deck, honestly. Seems like my opponent is just over-sideboarding a little bit here. Because Meddling Mage just seems super bad in this matchup. Yeah. No. This is... That's not what this is about, opponent. That is not what this is about. Well, I'm definitely not interested in trading here. I think I might start off by brainstorming, seeing what's up. I kind of want to shuffle this away. I guess I can shuffle them and Wasteland at the same time if I upkeep Recruiter. Which seems good to me, actually. Like, a Wasteland here seems kind of important. So my opponent cannot just, like, pull out Meddling Mage into play my Oko. Seems like something that we would not like to happen. Turn 2 library is rough, though. Turn to library is rough. Oh no, we can't cast Soul Herder. Worst case scenario, that we just draw a fetch. Like, it's not the end of the world. If only we could put it into play without casting it. Yeah, I know, right? If only. If only. And they're not drawing cards with library. I think that my opponent might be new to Legacy. I think my opponent might just be new to Legacy. Huh. Okay, so now that they have Plague Engineer, I think my plan is going to change. And I'm just going to use Engineer as a combat trick. Still seems still I'm interested in keeping this middle mage alive, I think. Man, they could have like 7 cards in hand or something. Could a recruiter ever be more than legal? I don't think so. Would it be awesome? Yes. Yes, it would be. Would it be awesome for a recruiter to be legal? Yes. Certainly so. There's no way they attack. Okay, since they didn't attack... we can go get Apparition, get rid of this. Let's name Carrier. Oh, I should have shuffled. I'm an idiot. I forgot that I didn't shuffle. What a silly goose. What a silly goose. That was actually super bad, by the way. Like, I basically denied myself a draw step. Kind of played myself there. Another Plague Engineer. Okay, that's a problem. That is an actual problem. That is big problem. Okay, so we're going to Venser here. And do we Venser this one or this one is the question. I think we Venser the one that's in play. I guess that we could get the second engineer ourselves. What is the Esper Vial good against? Many things, actually. So I think we just name... Yeah. Let's just do that. We just name Carrier. Oh, we can just Palace Jailer. Yeah, this is a lot better. Yeah, let's play around force. Yeah, let's just pass. Nice. So even if they have a snake, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is... Yeah, my opponent is making a lot of misplays. Like, that play right there makes literally no sense whatsoever. It makes actual no sense whatsoever. Like, now they're just gonna look at the same cards that they put back. Let's force that. Say no. Another vial. Let's just attack with everything. Let's start putting on a clock. I still care about this meddling mage being alive. Play decent human. DNT24, thank you for that follow. For that, oh no, DNT24 with the Prime sub. It's not a follow, it's a Prime sub. Thank you so much. Welcome for the 19 months. Glad to see you enjoying the best format. Give up the good work. Oh, thank you so much, DNT. Yeah, this format's great. Legacy's awesome. Yesterday, same thing. Like, somebody said, like, you get lucky when you play a new format. I'm like, I mean, I have been playing Legacy for like 3 years when I top 8'd that event. So, yeah, I mean, sure, I did get lucky. Like, no arguments there. But it's like people don't know that I actually do play a fair amount of Legacy, which I find funny. I don't think I like that play from opponent. Okay, so this is gonna stay at 4. Just say always no to this one. And this one, yes. Charming Prince. Serve with this too. See what happens. They just take it. Okay. So now I can hold up Hardcast 4s. I think, yeah, I'm just gonna hold up Hardcast 4s. I could also play Charming Prince, but this seems better. Also, it feels like the only way for my opponent to get back into it is gonna be Dead of Winter, like, oh, or another sweeper, I guess. Do we reset a playmat? No, because I wouldn't have needed to draw like a blue source. Like, I think I'd much rather hold up 4s for Caracas. Sure, King Caracas, my dude. Sounds good. You got me. You got me. I guess now I actually do want to do this. Oh no, actually this is like a free block, right? This is an actual free block. So let's just take that one instead, huh? I guess that they can just replay the engineer, right? But I can just counter it on the way back. Yeah, again, I just think that my opponent is new to the format, and like logically, like when you're new to Legacy, you just I did the same thing, right? Like you just tend to like not really think about the consequences of your plays sometimes. And Legacy, particularly when playing a control deck, Legacy is not a format that really allows for mistakes. Like if you just make mistakes while playing control, you're just gonna lose 100% of the time. Legacy redemption, yeah, like a bunch of, like we even made mistakes too, so we were kind of like giving our opponent a shot, but like my opponent just made more mistakes than we did. So like not shuffling on that turn was a huge one, for example. That was a really big punt. I'm not saying that I played perfectly by any means whatsoever. It's really difficult to do so in a format like Legacy, particularly when playing a deck that forces you to make so many plays, basically. But yeah, if you're playing a control deck like Snowko is, like if you don't play it very well, I don't want to say perfectly, but like you need to be playing it at like an 80 or 90%, or otherwise you're just not gonna win. Yeah, they just died without ever paying life for library. So basically, library was Mirror's Guile, which is not a playable card. And that's a little bit of what I'm talking about there. Okay. Okay. Let's keep this. It's a little bit on the slow side, but it's a pretty robust hand, which I like. Okay, so I guess we are just... Is this the GAC? What is going on? What is going on, chat? They dark ritualed. They dark ritualed. They dark ritualed into Stitcher Supplier plus Fiend Artisan. Oh, I got questions. So many questions. I'm just gonna play this and name Hogak. Name Grape Shot. Faithless Looting. That one makes sense. That one makes sense for sure. Bloody G. And another Dark Ritual. Fire Action Tower. All of this makes perfect sense to me. Everything that's going on right now makes complete and absolute sense. Nothing weird about any of this. So they're just gonna go get another 1-drop. Ashiok Dream Render in the main deck? Well, that's a card I can't really beat. Goblin Bombardment. Holy shit, my opponent's having all the fun over there. What do I lose to? I think we start with this one. Actually, it's the other way around. So black here and blue here. We start with Strix. Oh, sweet. All right, so I think I'm supposed to plow that, huh? And we plow that right now. This naming Hoyak is kind of huge. No, this is Goblin Bombardment right here. So they only have one Fiend Artisan at most. Mill me out and put an Oracle win. I don't even know what to expect anymore. Don't even know what to expect here. They're missing out on some free mana there. I really want to name Bombardment before it's too late. But I feel like I gotta play Soul Herder here. Because so I can keep on drawing. Venser. Okay, but Bombardment is like the way that they get around Peacekeeper. So if I have a meddling mage naming Bombardment and I have a Peacekeeper, they could still have Altar, I guess. So maybe it's not quite clear cut. Yeah, we can definitely reset. That's for sure. Cast name Brainstorm. Good name. I have used my mana every single turn past turn 1, so that I have not had a good turn to use Brainstorm so far, so it makes sense to name that. What's with this Nissin today? Village rights, let's go. So my opponent's deck probably could not be the Rest in Peace, huh? They got rid of the Peacekeeper. That's good for them because they probably would not have been able to beat that one. So it makes sense. We can probably still beat this fairly easily. Village rights is pretty pog. They should looting right here while they know that's good. Just sack it, Bloody G. Just flashback looting. No, opponent, flashback. Seems so much better. Wasteland would be great, so we stop their sack engine. It's not bad. I think we're supposed to attack with everything. Because if they block, we exile the bridges. We could also attack like this. So now we name Faithless Looting. Another force is not the best. This at least stops the range in, and we have force to counter one of their nonsense cards. Rift Cooler is fine. They have an engine, but they can't really attack just yet. Never mind, I guess they can. Okay, so just block there. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bridges get exiled. Land. So we can gain 3 with Charming Prince, then gain 3 again. We'll go up to 13. We can exile with Palace Jailer. No, they just steal the crown, so that doesn't do anything. We can Venser, kill 2 tokens. If we Venser, kill 2 tokens, we have 4 blockers. If they attack with everything, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We take exactly lethal, feels bad, man. If we Charming Prince, we gain 3. We gain another 3, we go up to 13. Then we... to 13, we block 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I guess we have to do this. So we gain 3. And on end step, we blink and we gain another 3. This game is tight. This game is very tight. Playing land before the attack seems super not good. Okay, so block, block, block. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I guess we can't do that, huh? Just gonna block with everything. Brutal. All right. Not in the best shape. We can't really counter that. Unfortunately. Okay, they whiffed at least. It's messed up. That's real messed up. What's up, John? How's it going? Doing some good, honest pyramid work. Love it. They have to flash back here and they have to name Palace Jailer. We can force this. No, we can't because then they cast Hogak, so. Brutal. Is there anything we can draw anymore? I think we are just dead. That Cabal Therapy was literally the best possible thing they could have found. Something good? Recruiter. That doesn't do shit, right? Alright, very interesting version of Hogak. My opponent is piloting over there. So, we want engineers, we want swords, we want cleric and rips. Baron is good, Teferi is not. Unearth is good. Meddling Mage is medium. Flicker Wisp is probably slow. Pulse Jailer out. Venser is okay. Shape 1 Force. I'm cutting the Jailer there because it's probably gonna be yeah, we're just gonna mulligan. This is better. Keep this bottom that. This is still very bad, but we have a lot of top decks. Let's just pass here instead of playing the Strix. We can play this next turn, but this is also our blue card for force. My opponent did nothing on turn 1. Goblin Bombardment. We have Apparition. That's an engine, folks. That is an engine. But opponent, get your free ping. Why would you not get your free ping there? Claim the firstborn. Wow. Wow. Starting to feel like I'm just gonna die because I let this resolve on turn 2. Starting to feel a little bit like that. Okay, so now we can go get the apparition, get rid of the bombardment. Or we can find a blue card for force. Gravecrawler, sure. Plowing the supplier in response because they are not going to be able to get back the Gravecrawler. I'm not gonna... If they name Recruit of the Guard, they got me. That's not it. Don't have a fetch, don't have a fetch, don't have a fetch. Sure. That's so fucked up. That is so good. That is so good, it's messed up. Alright, so we need to get a little bit lucky here. I might have messed this up. So if I do this now, they get 6 triggers. That's probably fine. Yeah, this is just bad. I guess I should have forced this on turn number 2. They let it resolve. Plow this now. No gack is good. I mean, we might still get gacked though. The vial draw there was just horrible. Because these are not zombies, these are vampires. So it doesn't do anything, right? Like, we are dealing with both zombies over here and vampires over here. So just naming one of them doesn't do anything. I have to get rid of the engine. Feed the Swarm. That's a card that you can play, I guess. Oh, because it destroys an enchantment. That's why they're playing that. It's kind of sick, actually. Brutal. So I guess we can Venser my own recruiter and we can vial it in and kind of try to get an engine going from there. It feels like that's just what I have to do. Okay, they just found the bridge. Shit, man. That's really good. Now I just have to chomp. I think I threw this game away. I just threw this game away by not countering when I had the chance to do. The thing is that I didn't have anything else going. That's why I didn't counter at that point. Maybe that was wrong. Yeah, they have to be careful to stack the triggers correctly here, otherwise they get no zombies. Like, even if we draw something like a Plague Engineer, it just doesn't do it, right? They knew about that one. Do you have another Feed the Swarm? They do. All right. Brutal. Brutal. I am still not sure that that was a mistake, honestly. We drew, honestly, we drew super poorly that game. We drew super poorly, but it makes me think, though. It makes me think. I think that it was still fine. Like, it was. I don't think that we were winning that game. My opponent's draw was just too good, and they just had all the cards that they needed. Feed the Swarm is an interesting one. I guess it makes a lot of sense when you're losing to Rest in Peace, right? Like, black having access to a enchantment removal, it's kind of huge. Pretty cool. I am feeling that I'm pretty rusty with this deck, I'm not gonna lie. This hand's pretty good though. I do feel like I'm pretty rusty. Just gonna name Oko. We can get dazed, but that's effectively the same, which is delaying the Oko, which is exactly what I want. But I just don't want my opponent to play a turn 2 Oko. Even if this gets plowed, it's still the same thing. Force would be the best thing. The worst case scenario. Because if they force, they get to like force my meddling mage. Yeah, daze. Daze is fine, as I was saying. Do I play Peacekeeper? Yeah. It's stock in these lists because obviously it's a one-off that you can. Oh, please give me a 2-drop here. It's not a 2-drop. I think I'm gonna Teferi minus on the Hierarch actually. Now my opponent's super far away from Oko. Which is everything I've been trying to do this game, is just delay the Oko the most I can. Sure. Now Teferi does its unfun nonsense. Plus here, play this. Palace Jailer, get that thing. Vial and Soul Herder. I guess I should have done this in the opposite order. That would have given me one more Soul Herder counter. You can see the rustiness, right? You can really see the rustiness over here. I don't think you can win anymore, opponent. Oh wow, they're on Infect? That's definitely not what I was expecting, I'll tell you that much. Okay, maybe they can win, actually. Never mind, they can't. Yeah, because this is target non-land. Okay, so let's start with a brainstorm here, I think. Yeah, I guess we just have to Peacekeeper, huh? I guess I missed another point of damage there. If I guess I'm gonna do this regardless, so yeah. Because my opponent has to wait a second. So we have a brainstorm on top. Do I want to draw the brainstorm? I guess I'd rather get something else. Game confirmed easy, chat. Oh, fun Reveler. Oh, fun Reveler. Oh, fun Reveler. Good stuff. Cannon is actually legit in this matchup. I guess I do want Apparition. Drake is interesting. Probably not gonna do it. Okay, we definitely want Peacekeeper. Teferi is actually pretty nuts. So in this matchup, as you just saw, Canonist, I think it's also pretty interesting. Of course, we want all the plows. We want the extra wasteland. Maybe Charming Prince is a bit slow. Just cut Venser. Just lower the curve a little bit. This matchup doesn't really give you that many turns. Wisp is interesting. What does Wisp do for us? They don't have that much removal. I don't think they might be flashing white for Plow, but that's not even guaranteed. Like it's possible that they're not even splashing white for that. Just got the melee mages, I guess. Sure. Force is pretty bad, but let's ship for some cheaper interaction. Okay, let's keep this. Don't love it, but I'm gonna go for the turn 1 Vial. We can get dazed, but there's too much to win, basically. And they didn't play anything on turn 1, so... Just trying to play the being ahead on board game. They also showed me another land for no reason. What would you go to deck in Legacy B if you were to play a tournament tomorrow? This is what has been my go-to deck, but I haven't actually played it in a while, so I'm super rusty with it. So I don't know if I would want to change because of that. If I would try to go for something else. Blighted Agent. Gonna be plowing here on end step. Okay, so that resolves, so what that means is I'm gonna be playing Recruiter instead. If my opponent had countered that, of course, what I was gonna do is I was just gonna play Baron instead. This is Soul Herder. Not having a black source is kind of hurting. Again, like as I always say, like the big problem with this deck is its mana. It feels like it's the main reason I lose sometimes. Sure. It's pretty good. So now I can let's do Underground Sea. Plague Engineer named Human, and we can pitch the Baron. $15.66, thank you for the follow. We got Ink Moth covered with Wasteland. We can use Soul Herder to reset this Engineer if my opponent plays a Glistener Elf. I think we're in pretty good shape. We have to watch out for Crop Rot, so I'm going to leave up Wasteland here because of crop rotation. I think that this is a pretty good matchup though. If they don't know that we have the interaction with Engineer or we can reset this, maybe they let this go. Sure. Let's pay. We cannot get killed from here, so let's get some card advantage. Let's do yes, and what can we do here? Get another Engineer. Sure, let's get another Engineer. Can you share your thought on my modern jund list? It would be good to hear you. Thanks. Yeah, Fefin, I have a... If you look at the actual land drops, you have like a deck for 12,000. So that way, you know, I am helping out the people that have been loyal to the channel. It's like a little bit of a reward. But I can't, like, having that option, I can't really, you know. I can't really, like, it would defy the point if I checked your list, you know what I'm saying? How is my opponent supposed to win here? Baron looks wild. Baron is super good. The combo with Gilded Drake is pretty ridiculous, honestly. Please spend your points on push-ups instead. All right, if you folks remind me before after we finish with this video, I'm gonna just binge 20 push-ups real quick. I think my opponent's trying to figure out how they can possibly win from here. I don't think they can. Not without removal and not without... Like, at this point, they probably just need an actual sweeper. I don't think removal would do it anyway. Smug through time, thank you for the follow. Personally, I'm saving up so I can find out how many push-ups you can... I still have like 460 in the bank, so... Trying to pick up some card from your affiliate link. How do I know it's giving you the credit? When I get to card, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's super weird, but it works. Team Plasma Gus. If you used my affiliate link, it does work. But it's super weird that it doesn't tell you that it is working. Like, it seems like it should tell you, right? So we're gonna do this first. Again, the goal is to not get got by an by the crop rotation into Ink Moth Nexus, so we're just gonna name Blink Moth with this. We still have access to Force. We're still getting value from Recruiter. Do you get a breakdown of card spot? No, I just get a check for the amount. Sure. So what my opponent is doing here is they're using Berserk as a removal spell, which honestly is fine. Like, this is not why I'm losing here. This is not why they're losing, I mean. This is just what's guaranteeing that I never fall behind, but... These are why my opponent is losing. Oko. That definitely seems worthy of a force of will. Yep. Yeah, the Infect matchup doesn't strike me as particularly bad for us. Like, they would need to have a very, very good draw. But Triple Engineer is... That we can tutor for, obviously, is not good for them. Awesome, thank you, Team Plasma Gus. Two and two. We lost both matchups against the unfair decks, against the graveyard decks. My opponent says, "Oh no, it's you." I'm gonna say, "Oh no, it's me." Picked up stuff for Reclaimer and Amulet decks. Nice. It's like a fine hand. Let's see what we're up against. I think I'm gonna go Tundra on turn 1. This allows me to brainstorm into shuffle. Have I tried to make an amulet deck for Legacy? I have, yeah. It just doesn't work. Wasteland is one of the most Wasteland is one of the most played cards in the format, right? So as you might expect, our deck, like, you actually cannot beat Wasteland. That's just not a thing that you can do. This could be combo, so I might be hurting myself here, but I guess in the blind we can do this and protect ourselves from Wasteland. Oh. Well, we're fucked. Yep. So this is Steam Fins, actually. Instead of Reanimator. So it means that we're gonna be dead exactly right now. Okay. So they get to draw their entire deck, then when they tendrils us and we died, so. Canonist seems good, this. And I want the forces, don't want Gilded Drakes. Engineer can go. Do we even want Source of Splashers? These are gonna be too slow. These are gonna be too slow. This is not gonna save us. And this is bad. But my opponent's deck is like aimed towards killing us on a single turn. So I don't think that I want Gilded Drake in this matchup. I'd rather hold up all of my interaction instead. The closest you gain is Cloud was yeah, exactly, because that deck actually gets to that deck actually gets to do some stuff in the face of Wasteland. Like you can just do stuff like Biting Needle and whatnot. I tried that in Amulet and it just doesn't work. Like it's just too many moving pieces. You don't need any combos to make Cloud Boss actually work. Like it just does its thing. Okay, so we're just gonna pass here because we're holding up double force here. I think that's fine for me. I would have been a lot more scared if my opponent had... Would have been a lot more scared if my opponent had like Entombed on my upkeep. This is fine. Okay, so now we have access to Hardcast Force. Charming Prince. So now we have Hardcast Force plus Second Force through the Ace. Would love to find Rest in peace, one of the dudes. What's the name of the dudes? All right. Guess this is the plan now? Doomsday? Unless they don't have Veil mana or something. Force, Pitching, Soul Hurler. Fluster. Yep. All right. We might lose just right here. It's crazy how Doomsday was a card that was forgotten for maybe actual years. Not even decades almost in Legacy. And then the printing of that Thassa's Oracle just completely skyrocketed this card to like multiple strategies. Super wild. Super, super wild. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up to 2, and I'm just gonna main phase play this Strix right here. Because we might draw into nothing. I wanted to draw into a Meddling Mage or something like that. Something good? Could be. There were Doomsday decks when top was in the format. Yeah, but they were not good, right? So I guess my goal here is that somehow they don't draw their entire deck before casting Thassa's Oracle. Seems very unlikely. But hey, gotta play 2 routes, I guess, right? Three. We have to name Meddling Mage and Thassa's Oracle. Oh man, did I put a Recruiter on top? Because I really wish I did if I did. So if I did put Recruiter on top, should have been a little bit more careful there. So I want to keep these on 2. I might have fucked this up. Recruiter, please. I think I messed it up. No, sweet. Okay, awesome. gonna go for Meddling Mage. We could go for Canonist. Because we only need... So if we go for Canonist... No, we lose to an end step brain end step. No, we don't, because they would deck. So they cannot. Do they have any card that allows them to pray through Canonist? Because well, Sheldok Isle casts, right? That's my point. But once they have cast the Oracle, then we can... So they would need to have something like a second Sheldok Isle so they can draw a card without casting a spell. No, they have one card left and they have no devotion. So if they cast Oracle, they don't win. They play something to the card that... Yeah, and then they can't cast the Oracle. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only... If I go for Canonist... Oh, they Sheldok Isle on our turn. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So I guess we just have to Meddling Mage then. Yeah, I think that's the only... And we have to do it right now before they untap with Sheldok Isle. Oh, I should have just cast this. I should have just cast that. Because now they can Echo in Truth. I think this is just one of those situations where like it kind of doesn't matter what I do and I'm just gonna lose. The only way that I don't lose is if they somehow messed up. Collective Brutality. Okay. Oh. So now they fast a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Yeah, so as I was saying, like, there was literally no way to work through all that, right? I guess if we could read minds, and we knew that somehow our opponent had an Emrakul under that Sheldok Isle, we could have Meddling Mage naming Emrakul. No, it wouldn't have worked because they still had the Brutality, right? So yeah, there was literally no way for us to work through that. GG's Walked Airplane. I was pretty sick. The Emrakul under the the Emrakul under the thing got us good. Win after they Doomsday set up further. I think I was only able to do it once. And it was because I just had access to like a ton of resources, so I was able to actually lock everything. I think I named an Earth, with a meddling mage. I named Thassa Circle with another one, and I had like double force or something like that. It was like a turn 6 or 7 Doomsday, so. Sheldock in the transformational cyber is my favorite thing ever. It's like a shiny object I can't look away from. That's crazy. All right, awesome. So we didn't do too well this time around, but it's no problem because we're gonna try it out one more time. Okay, so don't forget to check out the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one after you hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, see you later. Bye.